Planning Commission meeting. Thank you for being here. And we'll call the meeting to order. And Janie, would you call the roll? Here.
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 Okay, we do have a quorum. First item on the agenda. First, let me say the January meeting was canceled due to weather, and some folks couldn't get here, and we had some folks out with the flu. So we're sorry we missed our January meeting, but sometimes things like that do happen. So we'll go on to the approval of the December 21st minutes from the meeting. Is there any additions, deletions, or corrections? Have a motion for approval. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second. Janie, would you call the roll? Yes.
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 Okay. Also, our next meeting is scheduled for March the 21st at noon here. We have some old business to take up. We have the zoning ordinance, I'm sorry, we want to do the tabled item that from the last meeting, request by Kelvin Hampton, to rezone property located on around 5800 block of Georgetown Road. You can see the map and parcel number from FAR to C3. Is anyone here to speak on behalf of that property? Would you please step up and state your name and address, please? You have 5 minutes.
I'm Kelvin Hampton. I cut that piece of property out on Highway 60. My address is Athens address, 798 County Road 180. I don't have any use for the piece of property, but I was going to get it rezoned, so maybe we could do anything with it, maybe storage units or whatever I need to use it for later. I just didn't want to step on no toes.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Any questions for Mr.?
Did I hear correct? You don't really have any plans for the property other than just
not.
getting it rezoned?
I'm just going to get it rezoned, and hopefully somebody wants to sell some of those little mini storage buildings or house trailers or something. It just needs to be used for something.
If something like that was to happen, it'll have to come before the zoning again to approve the plans or what have you.
Yes, I knew that.
And I think one of the biggest questions I had with that, and it's kind of moot at this point because you said you didn't have any plans to build anything. I will ask though, if you decide to put some type of storage unit, or I think you in the request is about RVs and
Right.
things of that
what I was
nature.
wanting to do is like an enclosed boat and RV storage, something that's heated so that we're halfway between the lake, that we can catch them. And that may be 10 years down the road. I just thought we ought to get started with some kind of a step.
My biggest concern with it is the way the lay of the land is. It's just right at the crest of that hill is where that's at, and then traffic coming in and out, especially in a large RV or a boat being pulled. It may cause some traffic hazard. That was my biggest concern about the property. Do you have something that, if that was to happen, do you have a plan on bringing that in a different location?
Well, no, we would have to use the top of the hill, but I talked with Ben Berry about maybe doing a turning lane, doing something to that effect, you know, to have it where we could come in and out right on the top of the hill. You can see very well from the top. Yeah. But you got to come in and out in one spot, so we need to gate it for that spot.
Okay, so I think I understand what you're talking about. Is possibly
the very
putting
point of the hill is where the entrance would have to be.
Yeah.
But in order to slow down so you didn't get hit from either side, you need some kind of a turning lane.
Yeah, you'll need to pull off on the side to come in.
Yes.
And okay. XL lane.
Yeah.
All right.
And I talked to Ben about it. He said that'd be the best way to fix it. That way we wouldn't have such a wide swing and people getting down too far and couldn't see.
Yeah, that was actually one of the things I thought that you'd have to put in to help on that. The other question I was going to ask was, now that what we're talking about, because a lot of the questions was people were afraid that it was going to jump the roadway onto their property and make it wider, but to put that in to help them understand that's actually going to have to go on your property.
That's right.
To do that. And I think that was a lot of the concerns, and there's a few others that they had that I don't think is going to be an issue because they're worried about the roadway, which is something TDOT has already approved, and I don't foresee it moving anymore. Right. And some of the other was like changing their tax base and stuff, and it shouldn't affect their property at all on tax base. So And
I'm
that's
green
just,
as a gourd, I wouldn't know.
I understand. That was all I had for questions.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions from the committee? Any discussion from the committee? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Have a motion and second. Janie? Yes.
Yes.
I'll say yes. Yes, this time.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm, thank you. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hampton. Okay, our next request is a request by Chris Berry with Berry Engineers to rezone the property located around 7896 Dalton Pike. You can see the map and parcel number from FAR to Specialized Commercial C3. Mr. Berry is requesting the rezoning on behalf of the end-user Dollar General Corporation to build a new retail store on the property. You can see the map and so on. Is there anyone here for that property who'd like to speak on it? Would you state your name, Mr. Berry? And
I'm the other Barry, Ben Barry with Barry Engineers. Real excited about this. It's a Hannah property. They've owned it for generations. Really, Dollar General's been looking to put a store around the state line, so I was excited to see it on our side of the state line instead of just the other side. So we worked with TDOT to add a left turn lane on the road. So that's a high-speed area through there. And so there will be a left turn lane added so cars can sit and left, safer there. We're also moved the store kind of away from the neighbor there's only one neighbor on the property. Away from the neighbor, put our stormwater pond on his side and putting in a fence to screen him, kind of buffer them as much as possible in addition to normal code requirements. You know, whenever you change this to C3, you're going to have a code required buffer there anyway with the resident. Glad to answer any questions if you've got one.
any questions from the committee? Any discussion? Okay, thank you, Mr. Berry. We have a motion to approve. I guess.
Second.
Second. Janie? Yes.
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 Okay, thank you. Our next request is by Dean Helston to rezone the property located at or around 2970 Dalton Pike from rural residential to general commercial C2. Mr. Helston wants to build a personal garage on his property for use and storage of his personal items. This lot was decreased in size during the widening of Dalton Pike some years back and has approximately 18,000 square feet in size, which means it could have a residential home built if a septic tank system, a separate one, was built. But consensus is that will not perk for that. So there's two north lots on the side. They're already zone C2, we're road storage facility. This will probably meet the zoning regulations and also the land use plan. Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of that property, for or against? Okay, is there any discussion amongst the committee members? Have a motion to approve? Have a second? Yes.
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 Okay. Our next request is from Tim Daniel for final plat approval. Property is located at or around 743 Lead Mine Road. You can see the map and parcel number. This was brought before the commission during the December meeting, was withdrawn because due to changes required by the state for septic approval. And they were required to combine lots 7 and 8 to make lot 7 larger. This is now a 7-lot subdivision with no extension of road services or utilities to these lots. The original plat did indicate a house and some small outbuildings on the property. The house and buildings have been demolished and all 7 lots will be for new home construction. This meets the requirements of the subdivision regulations in force currently and is also compliant with the Bradley County Future Land Use Plan. Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of that property or against that property? Yes, sir. Step up to the podium, state your name, address, please.
My name is Josh Morgan. I work for LaBella Associates, surveyor that did the work, so, the description you gave pretty much describes everything. But I just want to come up and be able to answer any questions if anyone had.
Are there any questions from the committee or discussion from the committee?
I'll make, I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Janie, would you call the roll? Yes.
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 Okay, thank you, sir. Appreciate you coming. All right. Hang on. Okay. I'm going to ask Ron if he would to speak on behalf of the Bradley County Regional Planning bylaws that have been changed. You can see the blue is the newly added, the red strike-through items are being replaced, and the green needs research. Ron, would you like to address?
Yes, if you, to the commission's approval, I've researched this and the bylaws have not been updated since '94. So there's a lot of changes been done since '94. And this is just the first draft that I come up with and have written and wanted y'all to have it. And also the county's attorney has it, Crystal Freiberg. She is researching it to go over it. And what I'd like for y'all to do is just look at it, see if there's any changes that you'd like to see made. If there are, put them on it, get back with me, and we'll work this out, because this is just first draft. I just come up with it and looked at it. And if you look at this, you'll see the blue is what's added. What's in the red strike through is what will be replaced, wording, and the green needs research. And that's because I didn't have everything that I needed at home when I was doing this. But that's the basic what we need.
Any immediate questions or discussion, Mr. Wilson, before we move forward? Okay. We'll take a look at these and let everybody go through there and see if you have any comments or questions, and let's move on with that. And since 1994 is a long time to not been updated, so thank you for doing that for us. We also have a copy of the land use that's currently in effect with us. We have talked about this off and on. The county commission has talked about it as well. We have adopted this land use program, and someone can correct me. Mr. Hughes may be able to. I think this was updated in 2014. Is that what the commission said the other day, or Mr. Lewis?
2013, that was last
2013?
updated.
Okay.
Is that correct, or is it 20?
The comprehensive plan was done in 2014 according to the date. I
Yeah.
made one copy for the
Okay.
chairman,
Okay.
and I didn't have time to get everyone a copy made of the comprehensive plan, which includes the future land use plan.
That'd be 2014.
2014 was when it was up. I don't know, Mr. Chairman, what's the date on your copy there?
Mine says February 14th, 2014.
Okay.
So I was thinking that was the last update. I didn't know if there had been anything since then. Okay, I'll get a copy of this to you, to each of the committee, so you'll have for your reading, and make sure we're all on the same page as to what that has. We have used this plan in the past as our guidelines to approve or not approve rezoning, and we will continue to do that until either the county attorney says don't do that anymore, or the county commission takes action that way. But as of now, we will continue to use the Bradley County Comprehensive Plan and the future land use plan for zoning and approvals and denials.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if I may, there was one thing that we did leave out on that first amendment on Georgetown. I know there was some people that was in opposition of it in my district, as county commissioner anyway. One of the things I wanted them to understand, and everyone, that was the property that we approved today for C2 is also in that land use to be zoned that way. I don't know that it would be hard to vote against that. So,
Thank you. That's the purpose of the land use program that we have in effect, is to continue to use that for our guidelines and help us make the correct decision on those. So we'll have a copy of that for each of the committee members. And, Ron, is this online as well? Okay, if anyone would like it is online at the Bradley County, website, so you're welcome to use that. We'll continue to update that as it comes along. See if there's any on here. Okay, are there any other items to be brought before this committee in regards to our agenda today? Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, with no good for the orders, the meeting is now adjourned. Thank you for coming. Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, would you say your name and?
Mary Wooten, and I'm from the Waterville community along with these other folks.
Okay.
We are here seeking your support. The SPCA is asking you guys to rezone residential property to commercial so they can build the animal shelter there. There's several of us that oppose that because it's right in the heart of a residential. There's people there that live on Cross Street that lives in houses that you and I would not want to live in, but that's the best they can do. And I'm here to support those folks. And I realize it hasn't come before you yet.
Yeah, we
but
can't do anything till it
Yes,
does.
I understand that, but I still want you to know that we are asking your support. And I think there's a couple of you here that would like to make comments also. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, ma'am, as Mary just.
Would you state your name,
Oh,
please?
I'm sorry, Ronnie Whaley.
Thank you.
I have a house there in that little subdivision off of Truett Road. And what we'd like to bring to your attention is that the rezoning in that area will definitely affect our property values, our quality of life, mental, physical, all of that. But I want to do something a little different in that 8 years ago, I bought that house and I did my due diligence. I went, checked the zoning for that property. One side has a golf course, fire hall there, good location. I want to spend my money here in this neighborhood. Well, it seems like that because of the rezoning possibility that you're changing the rules in the middle of the game, because now it's too late for me to do anything. I'm 70 years old. I've already spent my money. And I know it's not before you today, but if this were to pass, then me and my neighbors, we've spent our money and now we're not going to be able to get it back. Our property values are going to go down. I can't tell you how much, but they'll go down. And if this proceeds, even if we don't move, the quality of our life, I mean, we can't sit by the pool, we can't entertain on our decks. So we're asking you just to put yourself in our place to the point where would you want an animal shelter in your backyard? It just, to me, it just doesn't seem like it's a no-brainer. You wouldn't want it in your neighborhood. We don't want it in our neighborhood. Now, does something need to be done? Absolutely. But there are places that are already zoned accordingly so that they're not going to be in someone's backyard, you know, whether it's an industrial park or it's a commercial area. And that's all we're asking is that you take a look at this and your constituents are concerned about this. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Okay, and we're not changing things in midstream, by the way. We didn't say we were changing things. We're listening to
Yes.
both sides of it. We've not changed anything as of now.
We're just presenting our side. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, but we have not changed.
Okay.
About the 2970 Dalton Pike.
It's already been approved.
Okay, it's been, okay.
Thank
you. Mark? Thank you. Sorry for being late. Do I owe anybody?
Yes. Stick around. We'll tell you how much in a little bit, Dean. Okay, obviously, we have folks that are here for the, potential, but the item's not been brought to us yet, so we can't enact. We've not seen the formal request. I appreciate you coming. I live in the community. I live on Dalton Pike, south of there, so I understand. And some of you folks I know sitting out here. So, but until we get something, we can't act, obviously, yes or no, and we're not changing what we're doing. We're gonna listen to everything. We're gonna take what we have in effect, and we'll make the best decision we can. If the decision is not what you are seeking, you have the right to appear in front of the county commission. They have the final say-so. They can override us either way. If we approve it or decline it, then it can still be brought to the commission for their final approval, and they can override anything we do. That is their opportunity to do that. But thank you all for coming, and we will wait till we have this request in front of us, and we will absolutely take that into consideration. Is there anything else? Yes. Would you step up to the microphone, please? Yeah, I agree. This will be the last one we'll let. So, yeah. Go ahead. You can make it brief.
Seems like, according to the banner, it's approved. Well.
Right here sits the banner. I can assure you, we've not approved anything. We can't approve anything.
It's in there, talking about it every time.
Well, let me say this. I'll go ahead and clarify that record real quick. Thank you for that. It's not come forth, so we haven't approved it, and we've not denied it. We've done neither one. Until it comes to us, we can't do either one. Okay? Fair enough?
Fair enough, but I'd like to express my opinion.
Okay. Would you wait till it's brought to us? Come back then? That's what all we're going to do is sit and listen to you say it now, but if you do that now, then you can't come back when it's actually brought to us. This is your time to speak. So it's up to you. I would suggest waiting till we have it in front of us, if we have it in front of us. As of now, we don't know. We can't speculate. We can't say we're going to or not going to.
Okay.
Fair enough?
I'd like to say one more thing.
Sure.
To me, from I first heard it, it's a no-brainer. You don't build a kennel with maybe 100 dogs right behind the fire station and the ambulance stations too. And every time that goes out, there'll be dogs barking up the aisle.
Okay. All right. Okay. Is there anything else? Sure. And you're welcome to call Mr. Wilson's office.
Mr. Chairman, we have a representative from the mayor's office here. As far as I know, or he can confirm this, as far as I know, there's not been any money transfer hands from one to the other.
That's correct.
At this point.
Is that right, Mr. Lewis? Is it fair statement?
So as of now, the property still belongs to Bradley County.
That's correct. It is owned by the county. So, yeah. So, okay. So as of now, we do not have a request. So until we have one, this is all, I'm not trying to be aggravating, but there's no need for you to get up and say anything because we don't even have a request yet. So let's wait till we have a request and then let's hear. We want to hear what you have to say. So I'm sorry, sir. Okay, I didn't hear what he said. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what you said there. No, that's okay. You're fine. Call Mr. Wilson's office.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
let me say this. You will see signs posted when they do request this. There will be signs posted stating that a rezoning has been requested. At that point, then you'll know that it has been. And until then, there's no reason to, because it's just beating a dead horse.
Yeah, that's great.
Because
fair enough.
Until we put the signs up, there's nothing that we can do or you can do or anybody can do. That makes sense?
Okay. Okay. All right. Is there any other? Yes, sir.
Massey property, has it been up for request to rezone it?
I didn't- Okay. Thank you. Okay. All right, unless there's anything else different, the meeting